Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc Blind. In the last one we began the investigation into murder in air quotations, and we didn't really make much headway in it actually. We've really just learnt a bit about Kyoko instead. Granted, which is obviously because we think Kyoko's the one who's murdered, but I'm obviously 2 steps ahead. Yeah, so. Hurry up and check the locker. That's what we're here for, after all. No, you're not wrong. Wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys, just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker furthest to your right?
Very strange.
It's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. Well, you understand what that means, right? That the key we have pretty absolutely goes to this. I guess. Now I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right? Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock. Redundant, maybe? Yeah. And? No, it's not redundant, it just sounds... Jesus Christ, what is up with the focus on this bad boy? There we go. Click. Locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. Not how I would have described that, but there are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. I mean, that makes sense. This is, despite being a dojo, this is also kind of an archery range. And they look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong, despite how thin they are. Of course, not a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Okay. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. Indeed there is. I can't really see it with the text box in the way, but it looks like there's blood on it. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain? If it is, then it means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow. But how could it possibly be involved? That is a good point, actually. My first thought, since it's duct tape, is maybe it was used to block a wound, but I don't think... I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. That is literally everything that was in there. I don't think we're going to get anything more from Makoto. Is something wrong? It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room? Or perhaps... Byakuya? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location? There's also something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in this school would you go to do research on something? Research? You talking about the archive? Oh man, we just love going there with Byakuya. Also, Jesus, that was really dark. Man, having some camera troubles today, apparently. Oh my god, just a random frog in my throat there. What was I saying? Came with a brain fart too, apparently. Sound about a camera. This session, I think is what I meant to say, not today. It hasn't actually been that bad. Until now. Whatever. That's right, the archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to. We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. Okay! Man, made it there real quick. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Oh, here we go. Quickly returned with a file in hand. I missed him, apparently. Right now I need to talk to Byakuya. Right, I aimed at his legs. My mistake. Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? That is a familiar mark. How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word in French? It's a French group? Or, well, I guess this document was done in French at the very least. I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Yeah, God. Learning French? That's for losers. I mean, I kind of say that self-deprecatingly since I know a tiny bit of French. But also, yeah, I didn't take French when I didn't have to. So, I totally agree with Makoto. French is so dumb, so silly. When are you ever going to know another language? Obviously for times like this. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? I don't think he's been serious. Oh, Jesus. So bright I can't even see his face. Oh, there we go. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Okay, so it's based out in the Middle East. This report was written in French and inducted a Japanese girl into it. That makes sense. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. So they're Fire Emblem characters. I mean, Fenrir is a dark tome, so just saying. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into an enemy. Any enemy. But they've been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group and they simply imploded. I guess we'll never know. What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality. The only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. I mean, I can't entirely disagree. Yikes. Really having some of those lighting problems today. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. Alright, how about interesting then, Makoto? So did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it... The report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right. She said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. Oh. Okay. I think you've just shot my entire, well, not my entire theory, but a big chunk of it in the foot. What? He got a tattoo of Fenrir. Could that mean? Oh, Jesus, okay. Well, evidence reviewing time, I guess.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
Goody goody gumdrops. And the time has come. What we're going to do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial. And I suddenly don't really know what the truth is going to be. Because this one piece of evidence sort of throws everything I just thought under the bus.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Alright, well, evidence reviewing time. So, it's this, right? Apparently every member gets a Fenrir tattoo. And I imagine that's this tattoo on the right hand, which, well, I suppose it could mean two different things. The obvious one being that this is actually Mukuro, not Junko, like I thought. Which is an issue. On the other hand, it could still be Junko. And Junko could apparently be part of Fenrir. That seems very unlikely. But, technically not impossible, I don't think. See, the problem is that a lot of things lined up perfectly for me to be like, hey, yeah, this is Junko. Well, I suppose really it's this. The body was covered with other wounds. I think really it's just that. That and the fake nails, to be honest. Which... oh, wait, hang on. Because Mukuro's the ultimate soldier, isn't she? So... it's very, very possible that those wounds are just her own wounds. Oh, maybe I've been railroaded then into thinking that this is Junko, but it is actually Mukuro. But then what's the whole thing with the mastermind? Who is the mastermind then? Is it actually Kyoko? Okay, let's just get back to reviewing the evidence. Well, even start, I suppose. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. Okay, the victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Okay. It had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Okay. I don't know about this metal pipe thing, because that sort of comes out of nowhere too, right? It's like they were stabbed, they have these old wounds, and they got smacked in the head with the pipe. We don't have the pipe, so... Explosion was burnt the upper half of the body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half remained dry. Alright, this is going to be used... This is what's going to alter our time of when the body showed up, really. When the body was put here. Since... Hang on, where's the tarp? Yeah, the tarp here. This is going to prove that the body was here before 7:30? Is it 7:30 that the sprinklers come on in the morning? I think it's 7:30. Because this is wet. So... Dadoy. That's gonna... Yeah. So this means that... Yeah, this sort of just shortens the time of the body appearing from 12 to 7... I guess technically 7:30, yeah. But it was notably long fake nails, which I honestly do think just links to Junko, but I think it also disproves, I guess, in this case, it disproves that it's Kyoko, because she could not wear those fake nails and her gloves at the same time. Okay, the tattoo seems to be like, hey, this is Mukuro, which, as discussed, shoots my theory in the foot that this is Junko. This should be noted that the bomb had disappeared. It's hard to imagine these two events are unrelated. Well, it's got to be unrelated, right? Because there's no way we could take out the bomb, or Hiro would take out the bomb, and then, in the span of time that it took us to go from the gym to the headmaster's office, someone could then run past us and plant the bomb on this body. Right? I don't think that's possible. Unless, like, Genocide Jack or Toko did it, but they didn't do it. Obviously. They wouldn't have... Genocide Jack wouldn't have taken the mask off if they knew the body was going to blow up, you know? But essentially, this... I think this is just going to show why the body blew up then, I think. Sprinklers. Okay, yeah, we know how the sprinklers play into this. Okay, 7 AM, Makoto wakes up. Makoto and Hina arrive in the dining hall. Oh! Actually, this sort of gives us... Oh, no, it doesn't really give us an alibi, does it? This would give us an alibi if the body was completely... If there was nothing wet about the body. But... Yeah, no, this doesn't give us an alibi at all, actually. So I guess this really is just... the thingy. Okay. This really is just an order of events. Knife... This, unfortunately, links to me, but this is also... Yeah, this is also kind of important as it was stabbed in the body, which I assume is the knife wound. Okay, tarp, already been over the tarp. The chicken. Yeah, so one of these is gone, and I assume... I think I mentioned this last episode. I see now. Again, this could be completely wrong now, but like the blood that was put on the body came from this chicken. I'm gonna say, because as I said, assuming that it is Junko, which is now dubious. I don't think she would still be bleeding. Although, then, that creates a bit of a different problem. Because I don't know what the tape was used for then. Byakuya's account. Okay, this gives us the time of death. Well, not time of death, the time the body had to appear. There were bloodstains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, there was no blood on the ground around the body, which would seem to imply that they were killed somewhere else and moved here. Presumably. Okay, Mukuro's file. Yeah, this sort of just identifies the body as Mukuro, which is weird. Apparently the killing game. Okay, yeah. Well, this just disproves that the body was thingy as well. And see, I'm so confused about who. I was sure that this body was Junko, but now I'm not sure. But then it's like, if it is Mukuro, then who's controlling Monokuma? Who's the mastermind? Is it Kyoko? Like, it can't be, right? Because we've established that, you know, someone does actually have to be controlling Monokuma. And the 5 of us, excluding Kyoko, were in the same room when Monokuma came out. And in fact, every single one of us, in like every single student, except Mukuro, has been in the same room as Monokuma. So, is there really someone else? In a way that would make sense, because like I've been saying that like giving away that it's Mukuro now would be too easy. It probably isn't the headmaster. One, because Kyoko thinks so, but also for the exact same reason as that I don't think it's Mukuro. But like, that means it's got to be someone else, right? But who? The woodblock decoration was found in Kyoko's room. Well, see, this sort of links Kyoko to these 2 pieces of evidence. I don't really know what the titanium arrows are for yet. But I think, more interestingly, it leads to this bloody duct tape. Which, now, if this was still going with what I was, thinking, then this could... yawn. Excuse. This could be used as a thing to frame Kyoko, right? If not as the mastermind, at the very least as the killer. Like, bloody duct tape, I don't exactly know how it links to the crime, but, blood, dead body, sort of goes hand in hand. And leaving the key in her room links her directly to it. The only problem being that... Ooh, hang on. Because she couldn't get into her room because Byakuya had the key, which I guess also means that technically Byakuya could have done it, but because he has his alibi, he obviously didn't do the murder, quote-unquote murder. But Kyoko has the Monokuma key, which can let her... Well... presumably, that's like the mastermind's key, right? And that should let them go just about... Like, I'd imagine... I don't remember if Kyoko said this or not, but I imagine
that it's sort of like a master key, you know? Which would explain how they could... No, it wouldn't explain how they could get into Makoto's room, because Kyoko would have had it at the time. But... assuming that it is like a master key, I wonder if Kyoko would have been able to use it to get into her own room. I think that she probably would have been able to, and that would explain, really, how she got into my room in the first place. Like, the door wasn't unlocked, she could just get in, you know? But I'm the only one who knows that she has that key. You know? Because, I mean, it's got to be something important, because Monokuma got mad about it. Just like with the Mukuro file, but... yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I thought I had a good grasp of this case, but this is really now the first one where I'm going in semi-blind. Because, like, I just can't be certain anymore.
Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together, man!
Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word.
We're investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point?
Koto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
What, are you jealous?
Of course she is.
Boy, you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself, man.
Oh yeah, me and Byakuya went off to have a steamy love session. Stop talking and brace yourselves. I'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But... he stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10. What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again, man!
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I guess it's not impossible.
What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or...
Oh, here he is.
or what?
Jesus, man!
Ooh.
Did I scare you?
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that?
What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait.
Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here. Now, can we?
Okay, so he's... Man, my entire thing has been shot down, hasn't it? Because now, the fact that he's saying this, he's waiting for Kyoko, right? But, you know, I thought he would have, like, had Kyoko. So I don't know if he's purposely doing this to, like, justify punishing us or something, but... What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Well, even if it was Kyoko, since he has confirmed that Mukuro is part of the game, she'd also have to be here. But, you know.
Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now.
It's gotta be. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
There she is! But also, fuck my entire theory.
I'm here. I know rule's been broken.
Kyoko!
Kyoko? You're still alive?
No, that's a ghost!
Shut up.
Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some fun for later, right?
Is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate?
I mean, she's right. There's no violation against being late.
Am I wrong? You're so selfish. So spoiled. You're right. There's no penalty officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later. No. I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya.
When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko!
So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay.
Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us.
I mean, we have all done this investigation in universe, assuming that Kyoko is dead. So, he's kind of right.
He's right. Now we gotta deal with a ghost, dude.
I told you. Stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial.
Not ever looking directly at Kyoko, the Archaea stepped into the elevator.
Master, wait for me.
Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long?
But
I'll be happy when this trial is over.
One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started.
Oh, of course you did. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms.
Okay, here these are again.
I didn't even remember that these existed.
I didn't even know these existed. Am I just dumb?
the second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered.
Then, when did you find out?
So,
Just now, I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. Can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I?
So that's why you were late.
however,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting.
But if you're on the second floor of the dorms, then that's where the key you found goes?
wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
Oh, was I right? Is this going to be like a master key sort of situation?
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school.
Okay, it is a master key, which unfortunately does implicate her, and technically she has no alibi, but I also just don't believe she killed anyone.
What?
just a second.
Uh-oh.
Hey! What are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma!
Makoto,
We can go over the details after we get through the trial. Okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
it would seem
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me.
For her? It's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
goodbye.
Well, assuming my initial theory was right, I do think this is like something to pin blame on other people, but well, now I guess maybe it's not about pinning the blame on Makoto for this murder. I think it might be that the mastermind wants us to pin the blame on Kyoko for the murder. I mean, she is certainly the most active person when it comes to trying to solve the mysteries of the school.
So killing her off would be a pretty good plan from the mastermind. Oh, that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? No, Makoto, she's certainly being serious. I think she has a right to be, too. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. Yeah. And the doors slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. Well, surprisingly, we haven't lost anyone since the last time we were in here, but... It's a very lonely elevator now. Can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Oh, gee, this is a colourful one.
Ah, I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this.
Really hasn't. This was very short, actually.
The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show!
And so, the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Alright. And that's where we're going to end it. And the next one we'll get on to the trial. And I genuinely am not entirely certain what's going to happen when we go into it. But I'll see you guys in the next one. And, yeah, I'm a little nervous as to what's going to happen. See you guys in the next one.